what exactly magic is, why it's important in spirituality. We're going to look at what magical practices actually look like what is it that you actually get to do. And also, I'm going to be talking about the ever elusive black magic, fear. Everything is fear-based around it because they don't want you to own your power. Why? Because they want to control you. Magic is what brings life to everything. It is an essential component of life. Welcome to the Bright Wellbeing Podcast, where we dive into real life stories, practical tools, and inspiring advice to help you reclaim your power, reconnect with yourself, awaken your inner strength, and discover your dreams. Together, we'll explore what it means to live with purpose and to become the conscious creator of a life that you truly love. All said with a spiritual and a magical twist, because that's what you are, a spiritual and a magical being. I'm Carrie Brightwell, your spiritual teacher, coach, healer, and magician, and I'm here to guide you in transforming your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Join me as we explore ways to create and activate your dream life so that you can feel genuinely happy and whole. Please subscribe or follow to ensure that you get notified and that you never miss an episode, and thank you for your support. I really hope that these episodes bring you hope, inspiration, and actionable steps to help you create a life that you bloody love. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about what is magic and why does it matter? Because anyone who's in my sphere, you know that I talk about magic quite a lot, and it is important. So I'm going to be looking at today what exactly magic is, why it's important in spirituality. We're going to look at what magical practices actually look like what is it that you actually get to do. And also, I'm going to be talking about the ever elusive black magic, put some clarification around that so that you know what that is. And then we're going to look at its role in manifestation, law of attraction, and your purpose. Like, how can magic help you find and live your purpose on this world, in this world? That sounds a bit better, doesn't it? So let's dive in and let's have a look. So I am going to start off by talking about purpose. When we manifested here in this world as a human being, all human beings have two common purposes. Number one, to have fun. And yeah, I know, but trust me, it's true. And number two, the second common purpose is to learn how to consciously create our reality. And that is where the whole manifestation and law of attraction thing comes in. But don't worry, I'm going to clarify, I'm going to explain. So that's our common purpose. And when we manifested here, we all came here with an individual purpose as well. And one of our tasks, if you like, is to find what that purpose is, align to it, and give it out to the world, deliver it into the world. But that's an entire episode, one which I do intend to talk about. So keep an eye out for that one, or go back and have a look to see where that one is. But let's go back to the common practices. So one of the common practices, as I said, as us as human beings, as a race, is to learn how to consciously create our reality. Now, you are unconsciously creating your reality all the time. What does that mean? Well, life doesn't just happen. You create it. Sometimes we create what we want. Sometimes we don't create what we want. We create what we don't want. And the way that that happens is we have an experience, our ego judges it as bad or that we don't want it. So therefore we suppress that energy, we suppress that emotion, we suppress that experience. And then that energy gets stuck in our bodies. It crystallizes into our DNA. But the energy is here to be experienced by us as human beings. And the energy is here to be felt. That's what an experience is, feeling of energy. And if it's stuck as crystals in your body, then it's not being felt. So what that energy does is it attracts the same scenarios, the same people, the same situations into your life over and over and over again so that it can be felt. And it will keep doing so until you give the time and the space to feel that energy, and then it's gone. And therefore, it doesn't need to attract that shittiness in your life anymore. So that's how we unconsciously create our reality. The stuck energy, the stuck emotions, the trapped trauma, whatever word you want to give to it, it keeps attracting the same. That's why how we create what we don't want. So how do we consciously create then what we do want? To consciously create, we need to be able to be free to make choice, take action towards that choice, and then be free of any blocks that might stop our choice becoming our reality. And this is where magic comes in. So what is magic? First of all, I want to define the difference between magic spelt with a C and magic spelt with a K. Magic spelt with a C, that word is used to define like the magic that you see performed on stage, right? Magic with a K is the spiritual practice of the manipulation of energy. And that's the one that we're interested in today. The spelling of magic with a K, I'm not really interested in the spelling, but we're interested in talking about that type of magic, the magic where we consciously manipulate the energies to create the world that we want. There's a definition of magic on the internet that I absolutely bloody love. And you know me, I love a definition. So let's have a look at what this definition is and let's break it down to help us understand what this magic with a K is, a kicking K to be precise. Right, so the definition that I absolutely love, magic is the science and art of causing change to occur to conformity to will. All right, let's have a look at this. So the science, well, that's the quantum physics aspect, and art, well, that's where the unexplainable bit comes in, the mysticism, the spiritualness, but also the ability to develop your skill and perfect your skill within this art of magic, because you can become a more powerful and stronger and better magician. So it's the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity to will. So what that means is we have our free will, we have our will, what it is that we want based on our desires, on our preferences, on our dreams, on our goals, on what we like, what we don't like. And our will is to create that, right? And so what magic is using science and art to create change in the world, in our world, so that we can create what it is that we want. Now, purely by that definition, then, we're all magicians because we are all always creating change. Now, whether you do it unconsciously or consciously, that's the bit with the conformity to will, right? Because if you do it in conformity to will, then you're doing it consciously. If you're doing it unconsciously, then it's not contributing towards your will. So therefore it might be, I don't know. But yeah, so that's where that bit plays in. If you believe in manifestation, if you try to manifest things, then by that pure definition that I've just given, you're a magician. You're practicing magic because you are manifesting, you're trying to manifest things into your life. You're trying to create things, bring things in, change things in order to become in alignment with what it is that you want. So you're a magician. If you try to make things happen in accordance to your will, you are a magician. And it's the same with law of attraction. If you try to attract something particular, you're practicing magic. Simple. But if it's that simple, then why the hell are we all so scared of it? I mean, not me, I'm not scared of it anymore. But why are many, many, many people, possibly you, scared of it or intimidated by it or apprehensive of it? The answer to that is mainly because of the church. So let me explain that one. When you realize that you have the power to create your life as you want it, because when we were born, right, we came here to have absolutely everything we've ever wanted. That's our birth given right. And we've been given the powers to create the world around us so that we can have everything that we want. So why don't you have everything that you want? If you're thinking, well, why don't I have that then? And the answer to that is because, well, life experiences, conditioning, and blah, 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 all these blocks, blah, 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 blah. It's taken your power away. And you've forgotten exactly just how much of a magician you are. And so therefore, all of this trapped crap in you keeps attracting what you don't want, right? But if you were to remember the power that you have, and you can create the life as you want it and exert that power to create your life as you want it, then you're no longer a slave. You no longer conform. You no longer want to fit the mold, to fit in. So what the church has done, because remember, the church is an organization that has been created to make money and to control people, to control the masses. They create a set of rules and laws by which you're meant to live your life by. That's definitely control. They have made out that magic is a bad thing and that witches are bad, shamans are bad. Anyone who practices magic is bad. They've made you become fearful of the word magic. They've made you become fearful of the connotation that is attached to it and the power that is behind it, because they want you to be scared of that power. They want you to not want to indulge in it, to not want to go anywhere near it. They want you to misunderstand it on purpose. They want you to shun and even, back in the old days, kill anyone who is considered being involved in magic. They consider it to be the devil's work. If you go near the magic, then you're practicing devil's work, so therefore you're not going to heaven, you're going to hell. Fear. Everything is fear-based around it because they don't want you to own your power. Why? Because they want to control you. They want you to be in slavery because they want to control you. They want you to forget and not harness the power that you have. Because if they can control you, then they have your power. If you have your power, then you remember who you are. You're able to break free. You're able to regain and maintain your sovereignty. You're able to fulfill your potential and potentially gain your power and their power from them. So that's why they tell you it's bad, and that's why they get you to stay away from it. And this is what makes me very, very angry, because your magic is your power. It's what you have within you to be able to create the life that you want, not the life that you've been told you ought to have. Call it manifestation, call it law of attraction, call it whatever you bloody well want. But the fact is, it's power. And this magic is available to you. It's available to everyone. And it's that which enables you to create the life that you want, and a life of bliss, a life of joy, a life of purpose, a life of fulfillment, whatever it is. And when you own this power, your manifestation becomes stronger because you're putting intention behind your manifestation. You own the power, so therefore the power works for you. When you accept your power, when you accept that you are a magician and that you can create your reality, when you use this in your practices to manifest and create the life that you want, then there's a higher chance that you're going to get it. So let's have a look at what magical practices actually are then, because I'm sure you've all got your own little visions that are coming up in your mind. Things that you've seen, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. There's an element of truth in all of those, to be honest. But it doesn't need to be so grand. It doesn't need to be so flamboyant. Like I said, the very fact that you state something, that you make a wish, that you close your eyes and visualize, that's magic in itself. So a magical practice is anything that increases your ability to create the change in accordance to your will, just like in the definition. Some magical practices can include rituals. Let's have a look at what rituals are. Rituals are a pattern or a sequence of actions that have a particular impact on the desired outcome that you have an intention for. Something like washing your hands and face, lighting a candle and sitting down to pray to your deity or to a god or whatever, or just pray to the source, the one, consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it. That's a ritual. Setting intentions and writing out your gratitude list, that's a ritual. Like, do it in the morning, if you do it before you go to bed, that's a ritual. Laying out an altar and getting people to sit down and meditate for a minute before entering a cacao ceremony, that's a ritual. Many people will go out on full moon nights. You'll go outside, you'll lay out your crystals, you'll write your list of everything that you want to get rid of for that month, everything that no longer serves you, and you say a little prayer and you burn it. That's a ritual. It's a magical ritual. And spells are magical practices. Spells are the combination of words and or syllables that contain certain energetic effects. So it can be something as simple as reciting an affirmation, or it might be something like, something long and complicated like a poem. Love spells, they're popular. So when I was writing my show notes, I was like, do I know any love spells? Like, well, I do, but I don't really want to recite them in case people start using them. So I made one up, like a love spell. It might be, I don't know, that you get a ring and you tie a bow on it or something with someone's name on it, the person that you want to fall in love with you. And then you recite something like, with this ring, I draw you in and forever our hearts will be one. I mean, I actually think that could be quite a good love spell. I'm wondering if that practice will work. I mean, not that I want to use it. If anyone uses it, do tell me, did it work? Does it work? But you see, so it's a combination of particular words and syllables that have a certain intention that amplify the impact of what it is that you're trying to create. With the example that I just gave, I gave an example of a spell. With this ring, I draw you in and forever our hearts will be one. But the ritual is the writing of the name, the tying of the bow. And I don't know, again, you might light a candle, you might sprinkle some rose petals around it, you might bury it under your pillow. I don't know what you're going to do with it because I'm making it up. But you get my point. That's the difference between a ritual and a spell. A spell can become part of a ritual. And then another magical practice example is invocations, where you invoke a god or a deity or a spirit by reciting something, and you call that in and you ask that god or spirit or deity or whatever it is, you ask for their assistance to help you with something. And if we look at what deities are, what spirits are, what gods are, they're personifications of energy, right? So you are calling in a particular energy to support your intention, what it is that you want to create. And you can, if you want, combine all three. You can invoke a particular deity, you can perform or recite a spell, and you can perform all of that within a ritual. Those are different types of magical practices. An example that I do, just to bring this into real life, when I fight Muay Thai, when I step in the ring, I walk around the ring, I seal the ring. What I'm doing is I'm banishing any evil spirits out of the ring, and I'm calling in to my gods, to my spirits, and I'm asking for them to protect me during that fight. And I'm asking that, as I banishing all negativity, so that all that's left in the ring is me, my opponent, and our potential. A true, clean, and honest fight. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm asking for, as does every fighter when they step in the ring. So everything that I've talked about so far with regards to magic, I've talked about it with positive intent, creation, consciously creating, manifesting, law of attraction, right? But there is, and there can be, and this is where the negative connotation comes in. This is where the fear comes in, right? And that's with black magic. Why am I whispering? I don't know. That's with black magic. I'm here to cast some clarity over what that is. So I don't know why I'm whispering. Anyway, so what is it? Like I said, I've been talking about magic with the positive intent, but then there's the duality of it, right? There's the opposite. In some cases, some people might choose to use magical practices or perform magical practices with negative intent. They want a negative outcome rather than a positive one. So black magic is generally when somebody uses the same things, rituals, spells, and it's not a spell, it would then be a curse. They'll recite curses, or they'll do rituals, or they'll invoke darker spirits. And because wherever there is light, there is dark. There's always duality. But actually, I want to talk about that for a minute, because darker spirits, what are they? Spirits are just spirits, right? Demons are just demons. They don't judge. They don't have light or dark, really. They just do what they're told to do. You can ask a dark spirit to perform something positive and light in the world, and it will. equally, you can ask a light spirit to do something with negative intent, and then all of a sudden it's a dark practice. So the spirits and the demons and the gods and the deities themselves don't hold light or dark necessarily. It's how you use them, and it's the intention that you have behind your instructions, if you like, because they're just going to do what they're going to do. They're going to do what you ask them to do. So that then leads me on to the point of, well, what is black magic? Well, it's generally when somebody uses the rituals and the curses and everything with negative intent to cause a negative outcome, whether it be on a particular person or whether it be on a situation or whatever it is. Some examples are making people lose business, so they have to close down, or lose money, causing illness within somebody, making someone lose their power, like physical power or spiritual power or magical power, causing somebody to lose desire, motivation even, so they just can't be asked to do anything. Even to the right at the other end of the scale, you could even use it to cause somebody to lose their life, right? Let's just call it out, shall we? Like, it can happen. It does happen around the world. That is a potential. It's a possibility. But you have to be that way inclined, and you have to have that intention behind it for it to work. So just like there are certain energies and spirits and entities and gods that you would use to create good, there are the same that you would use to create bad. And all it takes is intention. And one of my clients asked me the other day, well, what causes somebody to do that? What causes somebody to have the desire or the want or the need to go about it with negative intent? And my response is, normally it boils down to the desire for power. Somebody else's power, normally, because you either feel that person feels that they don't have enough of their own, or they feel that they just want more of it, or they're envious, or they don't like the fact that the other person has it and they want to take it away from them. I mean, you look at the richest people in the world. They've got everything, surely. Like, they are the richest people in the world. Money is no object to them. So then why do they get involved in those practices? Because they do. They're the biggest culprits, right? So why do they feel the need to get involved when they've got what might be perceived as everything anyone could ever want? And if they haven't got it, they can buy it. Well, because the one thing that you can't buy is power. So that's why they do it, because they want to gain the power. You can't buy power. You need another process in order to be able to take that from somebody. And that's where magic comes in. So I wanted to talk today about this particular topic because I wanted to put some clarity over it. I wanted to remove some of the stigma around it, around the connotation, around the word itself, and enable you to understand how you can use it for yourself in order to be, and you quite possibly already are, by the way, but how you can use it for yourself to create the life that you want, to create your dreams, to align with your purpose, to enable you to do good in the world, more good than what you might already be doing, to consciously create the life that you want. So by the very definition that magic is the science and the art of causing change in accordance to your will, or change to occur in accordance to your will, by the very definition, there is a high chance that you already are a magician. Magic is what brings life to everything. It is an essential component of life. If you don't have it, then there's something missing for you in life. It's a necessary component if you are to create the life that you want. And it's how we align to our purpose, because we have desires, we have dreams, we have wants, we have preferences. And it's these desires, dreams, wants, and preferences that are indications as to what your individual purpose here is in this world. And when you follow these desires, when you try to create these dreams, you are aligning yourself to your purpose. And in order to be able to create those dreams, you need to be able to create that change in accordance to your will. And that's why you need magic. And that's why you need to understand the power that you hold, so that you can do that, so that you can align, so that you can create, and that you can become even more than what you are. So if you practice manifestation, if you practice law of attraction, then you are one already. And it is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It's a natural part of life. We are all magicians, and we can become more powerful ones if we choose to be. Keep your intentions aligned with integrity, and all will be well. And if there is one thing that you can do as a result of this new understanding, that is to consciously create the life that you want. And to consciously create the life that you want, you need to know what that is. What is it that you want? What experience of life do you want to have in the future? Identify what it is that you want to feel in the future, and then identify what it is that is going to help you create that experience, create that feeling, create the vision that you want to have in the future. Break that vision, that ideal, down into achievable goals, long-term goals and short-term goals. Create an action plan to help you achieve those goals and start to take action along that plan. And as you start to take action towards the short-term goals, which will contribute to the long-term goals, which will contribute to your ideal vision, right? This future that you want to experience. As you start to go along that path and take action, all of the blocks are going to come up. All of the things that stop you in life, the limiting beliefs, the unconscious laws that operate on your behalf, that keep attracting the same scenarios in your life that you don't want, that are not helpful, that are not serving, that we need to get rid of forever. Those blocks are going to come up. And then you do the work that's going to help you remove those blocks, to abolish those blocks so that they're no longer a block in your life, so that you can create what you want rather than continuously creating that which you don't want. And if I have a call to action for you today, it's to start to create that vision, to feel your way to what it is that you want, truly want for your life. And if you want support, if you want guidance, if you want a proven formula, if you want tools and techniques, accountability, support, then you can come and join the membership, because in the Always Dreaming Bigger membership, this is exactly what we do. I provide you with the formula. I provide you with the tools and techniques to help you create that vision, to help you get the right brain chemistry, to help you get to prime yourself within your current state of life so that you can see potential and possibility for yourself. You can start to create and see the bigger picture that you want, the dreams that you have. You start to connect to who you really are, what you really want in life. And then I start to help you understand what it is that you need to do in order to create that. But most importantly, identifying what's stopping you and helping you to permanently remove those blocks out of your life so that you can actually see change. You start to be able to create that change in accordance to your will so that you can live the life that you want and not one that you think you ought to have, or one that somebody else has told you that you ought to have. So if you've got any questions about anything I've said, you're very, very welcome to submit those to me. There will be a link in the show notes that you can actually submit a question. Also a link to my membership if you want to have a look there. And again, I keep repeating this, go to my YouTube channel, have a look at some of the meditations. I've got some guided meditations up there to help you identify what you value in life. What does an ideal day look like for you? What do you really want out of life? Have a go at those as well. You don't have to use my ones. You can use any guided meditation, or you can just sit down and go into just a normal meditation and not be guided at all, and just start to daydream. A daydream. Allow yourself to daydream. When was the last time you allowed yourself to just sit and daydream about what it is that you bloody well want in life, what it is that lights you up? Daydreaming, underestimated, I love daydreaming. That's what commuting's good for. Not if you're driving necessarily, but if you're on a bus, if you're on a train. Daydreaming. When was the last time you gave yourself with guiltless permission to just sit there and daydream, to just be? Anyway, food for thought. Daydreaming. Right, that's it. That's it. I've explained to you what magic is. I've explained to you what magical practices are. I've explained to you how you quite possibly are a magician already, and that if you practice it even more, then you become a much more powerful magician. So I hope that you've got some wonderful understanding today. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you've got any questions. Take a look at the show notes, click on the links, and I'll welcome you in the next episode. And until then, my friends, have a wonderful, magical, and spiritual day. Love you lots. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you enjoyed or if you were inspired by anything that I had to say, then please do consider hitting the subscribe or the follow button. You might like to leave a review so that others can also benefit from hearing what we have to say here on the Bright Wellbeing podcast. And you can even share or comment. I really do love to hear from you. So there's a button for you to hit so that you can send me your feedback. You might like to consider following me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest. All of the links are in the show description. Not only that, but I've also shared links to some useful tools that you can download. So please do take a look. Until the next episode, my friends, may you dare to always dream the ridiculous dream, because what you can achieve is so much more than you can imagine. From my heart to yours, take care.